What up, what up? My name is Ronnie Ferreira, and I am the captain of Comet Me Bro, the first ever champions of MSS Reindeer Games. You're watching Let Freedom Ring with Dan Bollier, the #1 podcast in Southern New Hampshire. Enjoy.
Well, I was sleeping there, so I missed the intro from the countdown.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got a quick sneak peek there, didn't we? Huh?
A little behind the scenes here.
How the magic is
This is how
made?
we
I don't know how that
works. Well, welcome to Ring and Free Thoughts with Dan Scott. We're doing a little bit later. We're in like the middle of May. It's busy season for everybody. Just a lot going on. So sometimes we might be a little bit later bi-weekly, but we will be here.
Late night softball for one half of the show. I don't know who that might be though.
7:45 game. But yeah, Scott, how you been?
Good, man. Good. I apologize if I may be a little nasally and sniffly throughout the broadcast here. The allergies are in full force, but oh yeah, they've been kicking my butt for a few weeks now. But tonight's really rocking and rolling. But yeah, I mean, we are, like you said, mid-May. We are nearing Hawaiian shirt weather, if not already there.
It's just nice. It's nice, May is a really great month, right? It's like the prelims, not every day is perfect, but then you're going to hit June, then you're going to hit my favorite month, July, and then you're going to go into August, September,
Big
October.
July guy, huh? Yeah, you like July?
Dude, the show's called Let Freedom Ring. Of course, 4th of July.
Okay,
patriotic.
yeah, all right.
It's my time of year. I love the hot weather. I really do.
Yeah, I don't do well in the hot weather. I swelter and I sweat and I complain and I cry like a baby. So.
Yeah, I like it though.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Opposites attract, right?
That's how it is.
That is exactly how it is.
I think Paula Abdul said that best, right?
She might have. Yeah, exactly.
Let's get to the headlines though. I mean, well, first,
jump right into it.
We're in episode 12. And we were talking, okay. I know you're into this. Famous players that wore number 12. Now, we know the obvious here.
It's got to be my favorite quarterback of all time, Andrew Luck, right?
Ugh.
I'm joking, Mr. Thomas Brady. Sorry, I'm flipping around with my hair here now. I mean, how do you not think of Tom Brady when you think of number 12, right? I mean, automatic, almost.
I mean, I put it into Google other than Brady. So Brady's the top of the list. John Stockton wore number 12.
Okay.
Terry Bradshaw, Aaron Rodgers, Jim Kelly. Here's a baseball player you probably enjoyed growing up, Roberto Alomar.
Okay. Yeah. Third base, maybe? Was he at third base?
Second.
So close. I mean, I was slightly off. Andrew Luck was number 12, though, right?
Yes, he's actually on this list.
Luck? Yep.
Wade Boggs.
Okay, big Wade Boggs fan. Yeah.
Dwight Howard, Robert Staubach. So there's a guy. I wasn't thinking of a lot off the top of my head. Brady is like the one.
Not a big famous big names number, huh?
No, it's just a
couple out there.
Not, And again, if you are watching and you want to comment, you want to be involved, please do it on the Let Freedom Ring page or on the YouTube channel.
There.
We're getting a lot of comments on my personal page. I have addressed this for 4 years. I can't see it.
So do people have to I'll share the broadcast as we go live here. If somebody doesn't, isn't already liking the Let Freedom Ring page, are they able to
No, I think you go on the page. I mean, it takes 2 seconds to like a page. So
True. Wasn't sure if you have to approve it or there's firewalls.
No, likes don't have to be approved. Comments once you're in, you're in.
You're in. I like it a lot. Then I like it a lot. There we go.
So we like interaction. So jump in. Whatever you're thinking. It's free thoughts. It's not just our free thoughts. It's your free thoughts too.
You will often find that we're talking on something, then a half hour later we're talking about who the heck knows what.
The
It's just
fan
a
interaction
free
is
thought river of
it's just endless
thoughts.
thoughts.
It
I want to
is.
get into this first one because this is the
Mm,
hot topic of the last couple days. I
scorching
never really
hot,
thought about
hot
what this
stuff.
guy's name was. He's been a pretty clutch kicker for the Chiefs. Harrison
Loser.
Butt, not Liquor, but Butker,
Butthole.
weird name. He
Mm,
does a commencement speech at a university,
hmm
and I don't remember the detail. He basically said, women, you've been told to lie. As far as like, I don't know, applying for jobs or whatever. And he said, you're probably looking forward to essentially being stay-at-home moms and having
Yeah.
children.
Yeah.
What did you think of this scenario here?
What a, I mean, all right, this is America, right? I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion. Everybody can, say whatever they want. There's platforms across the world to say that sort of stuff. But what a loser this guy is, right? Like
Yeah.
the whole thing, like it's twofold, right? Because he's talking about women, uh, that they should be striving to just be, stay at home moms and all that, which 100%. I mean, if that's the way you want to live your life, absolutely knock yourself out. Like some that works for families and dynamics and relationships, all that sort of stuff. But like that shouldn't that shouldn't be like the set in stone goal for every woman or every person out there.
No, and it's his opinion that works for his family, and that's
Right?
cool. But
Mm-hmm.
like at a commencement speech, like if he was talking to
Right.
a conservative group that believes in old traditions and whatever, and he wanted to
Mm-hmm.
say, but to say like, hey, everything you worked for is a lie
The
on your
waste of your
graduation.
time. Yeah. Crazy.
What are you thinking? And you're entitled. Like, I just think it's just he could say that wherever he wants. I just thought it was weird to say that
Right.
at a commencement
I just think it's
speech.
wild because I was watching it earlier. He got like a round of applause after he said that too. It was very
Well,
like
I don't
there's
know
been
much about the school that he was at. I mean, maybe that
Benedictine
is.
College. I looked it up. I think it was in like Missouri. It was a liberal arts type of place, sort of Plymouthy maybe. Who knows?
That would not fly at
Um,
Plymouth State. That would not
no,
fly
it
at
would
Plymouth State.
not. Absolutely, yeah. But then he's also not. It's not even just that. He's also talking about how men have to make defend your manhood and all that sort of stuff, and it's just I don't know, it's just and it's really funny because I saw one post out there at some point, or a comment or whatever it might have been, where it's like Harrison Bucker, who's a kicker, right? He's talking all this trash, women, yada yada yada, but then the post was like, you know what, anytime that there's been a woman that's played your sport, what position are they usually playing?
Yeah.
It's your position, buddy. So,
Well, there's been a lot of accusations that someone said to me, he goes, he's had
yeah.
the gay conversion therapy, and I don't know if that's
Oh
true,
yeah.
but there was a lot of people commenting that he's not that there's anything wrong with that either, but
Not at
like he
all.
might be one of those people that's like self-hating.
Just really putting out this front to
But his
yeah.
mom is a very successful woman
Oh yeah.
making buco dollars. Yeah,
Oh
she's got
yeah.
like
What
a
does Mrs.
PhD.
Butker do? Yeah. Oh, okay.
So
A
he came from.
PhD. She's not sitting in the kitchen, right? That.
No, it's a weird thing. So like it would have made sense to be like, well, this works for my family or whatever. I just want to pop and say hi. I'm not watching live because I want to give Scott a shout out to my husband. Thanks for being my partner and covering the home while I'm having fun tonight. See? Balanced relationship.
But Harrison Butker would never allow his wife to go out on a
He'd
Friday
be like,
night.
nope.
Thank you, Megan. You're
And
welcome. I love
and
you.
and I want to say to him as well.
Mm-hmm.
We're living in 2024, right? Any
Yep.
women, men, it should be equal. But
Mm.
what like most families have to survive on two incomes.
Not when you're an NFL kicker, but
Well,
yeah,
now, yeah.
no,
So what I'm
yeah,
saying
right,
is
yeah.
like he's just projecting like how his life is
That's a
onto others.
fantastic point. Yeah, I mean that's not going to work out for everybody, but yeah, I mean if you've got an NFL salary, if I was an NFL player and Megan wanted to work, sure, I'd be all for it, but I'd also at the same time like there's no need for it. So
He's getting paid millions of dollars. Like his wife doesn't have to work. He should, you could say I appreciate my wife for taking care of the kids while I'm making, buco bucks to
Right.
kick a
Yeah.
football.
What a D-bag.
So I just feel like the dynamics of like so tone deaf
Right.
in 2024. Not only that is like, everybody, just I'm 39 years old. I don't have any kids. I don't have a wife. Like there's people that don't want to do that stuff. So
Mhm.
there's probably women out there that don't want to get married and have kids.
Oh, for
So
sure.
like,
Yeah.
generalizing people and saying this is how, it's just, I think that's fine at an audience that,
Mhm.
believes that, but not at a commencement speech.
Yeah. Yeah. But again, I mean, he got a round of applause though. It blows my mind. But then I also saw, posts that there was plenty of students out there that, disagreed and thought it was awkward and all that sort of stuff. So
It's just a weird thing. And to be
strange.
honest, I've been, when Tim Bollier graduated from UNH, the commencement speaker, and I'm not making this up, it's kind of
Yeah.
crazy, was the streeper herself, Marilyn Streep.
What? Marilyn Streep? Nah.
And
Why?
she took that opportunity to bash men.
Really?
Oh my God, it was about
Huh.
30 minutes of just like, and I was 18 at the time. Like I haven't made, I was just watching this and I was like, wow, Meryl Streep thinks that I'm a piece of crap.
Wow. Yeah. Meryl Streep. Really giving it to you. I did not know that. What connection does like I was just about to say,
Her
like, why
niece
is
was
Harrison
graduating.
Butker the
Yeah.
commencement speaker at some weird, not weird, that's not the
But
right phrase, but
why are these people going into business for themselves at a
mm,
commencement speech on these people like and I'm sure people walked out of there and like whatever, I don't care what that guy has to say, but
sure.
it's like
Yeah.
it's their big day,
Mm,
women and men,
mhm.
people about to start their lives, women and men, who don't have to fit into this mold of a millionaire who thinks, women should just stay at home.
Yeah.
He's an idiot. Or he's
So
a jerk. He's a jerk.
just bizarre is what it is. Yeah, but yeah, tone deaf and just out there. Yeah.
And it's funny.
Strange.
They were showing an old interview of Patrick Mahomes. Is like, yeah, I don't really talk to that dude.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll talk to him into the season. Nothing like that. I want to see. I mean, if your girl Taylor Swift is still showing up at those Chiefs games next year, what's her opinion on Mr. Bucker?
Yeah, and to just point blank, anybody can say whatever they want. This is ringing free thoughts. Like anybody can have whatever opinion he can have his opinion. I just think time and a place for it.
Yep, for sure,
You
for
know.
sure. Yep,
So,
bizarre,
but
bizarre.
speaking of freedom of speech,
Ooh,
roast of Tom Brady, which I have not got to sit and see in its entirety. I've seen a
no.
lot of clips. What did you think
Hmm.
of it?
It was so if you haven't actually sat, so I feel like I haven't pulled it up since. Like I watched it like the next day where it was still like 3 hours long. I know it's been edited, like they edited out like when Kim Kardashian went up there, she got booed. They edited that out. So I don't know exactly like how short, what the length of it is now. But ooh, it was a time investment that first watch, but some really funny stuff. I'm not like a huge roast guy, I've seen a couple here and there, but there was some funny stuff on that roast of Tom Brady. I'll give it to him.
I mean, I'm a big fan of the roast. I mean, the James
Yeah.
Franco one to me was the funniest because you had Jonah Hill, Seth Rogen, Andy Sandberg
Yeah.
roasting him in their prime of their career. Where
Right.
this was 2013. They were all still hot.
That was before, Franco was.
In trouble for whatever he
Yeah,
did.
yeah. So it was a nice fun roast then.
But that roast, man, I was
Mhm.
dying. That was probably the best one I've seen. But this one, probably from the clips I've seen, you had Belichick it up there, Gronk,
Yeah,
Edelman.
crazy stuff.
Again, what's her name there?
Oh, you're Nikki Glazer stole the
Glazer.
show. She's
She
great.
always,
She's
but she.
funny.
Everybody's like, she stole the show. I'm like, have you seen her roast before? Like, this isn't the first time she's done that.
Sure, she's a pro. Yeah, yeah,
They call
yeah,
Jeff Ross the roast master, but she is right up there with him.
yeah. She's good stuff. Yeah, I mean, for the non-pros, I mean, Edelman and Gronk were just awkward. They tried, but they were pushing it a little bit too much with some of the stuff that I don't think Harrison Butker would appreciate, you know.
Who
Um,
cares?
Bledsoe, I thought was great. I thought Bledsoe had some good little rips
Bledsoe's
at
been
him.
waiting for that moment for 23
Oh
years.
yeah, what a Nancy Bledsoe is though, with his little winery. And again, if you haven't, have you watched? If you've watched the Bledsoe part, he's just very. He's got his little pinky out every time he's taking a sip of his drink there, and he's just really pushing that. I own a winery now, sort of
That's been his thing for a couple
mentality.
of years. Yeah.
I know, and I respect it. I respect. Again, I when I think number 11, I think Bledsoe before I think Edelman. But
Because you're
yeah, no, it's pretty
a
funny.
quarterback thinking kind of guy.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so.
What did you think? We talked about this with Anthony Brogna on the show, on Let Freedom Ring. What did
Mhm.
you think of the Aaron Hernandez's jokes? Like, is that, this is a lot of these guys have never publicly talked about Aaron Hernandez because that's just something that I don't think anybody wanted to address. I mean, it's still, we talked about OJ Simpson and we were too young, but
Mhm.
we remembered every little thing. I was
Mm.
29 years old, 28 years old when
Yep.
Aaron Hernandez thing went down.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
what did you think of those takes?
I was pretty surprised. And I can't remember who, opened up the Aaron Hernandez floodgates there, but I feel like I remember seeing Gronk or Edelman, when they cut to a reaction shot, they were surprised, sort of shocked, that sort of thing, that somebody was mentioning it. I feel like that's pushing it a little. Like,
Were they not going to go for it though? When you've seen roasts, there's nothing off the table. I mean, Greg Giraldo died of a drug overdose, and he was one of the roasters, and they roasted that.
oh yeah,
And that was one of the close friend of some of those comedians. So
yeah. I mean, I guess to a layman, not New England sports. I mean, again, we grew up here. We've eat, drank, slept Pats, since we were kids. I think Aaron Hernandez is like one of those national news sort of topics, I guess, that relates to the
well,
team. So
there's
it's
a documentary on
something.
Netflix about it. Like I think
Sure.
most of the public is well aware of everything.
Right. Right. Right.
It, you
Something
know,
to dive into.
and I sympathize with the wife. She didn't murder anybody, and
Sure.
this
Right.
is a man she
Yeah.
loved, and that's getting
Right.
roasted. But
Yeah.
even Brady said after, like, I regret some of that because his kids were
Yeah.
brought into it.
Why are you letting your kids watch that in the first place, though? I mean, they get to see it all over the internet. There's no stopping them. But
Yeah, it's
I
like,
don't know. You should have thought of that ahead of time. But you also got paid what, $25 million or $20 million, something like that.
yeah,
So
and I mean, I think it's all in good fun, and
yeah. Right.
just I think Giselle wasn't thrilled. But like at the same time, it is a roast, and if you've ever seen one of
Yeah.
these roasts, like
Yep.
there's never been anything off limits.
No holds barred. Yeah. Yeah. But again, the Aaron Hernandez stuff, like that's just one of those things that I feel like everybody could, knew something about. Where like some of those, there was a bunch of Alex Guerrero jokes that just fell flat. Like people just like,
Didn't know who it
whether they're,
was.
yeah, exactly. But like me and you, we're watching that. We'll appreciate those sort of things because we know all about that. We
Because
lived it.
everybody in New England thinks Alex Guerrero is what started the.
He was Yoko. He was the Yoko
Yeah.
Ono. Yeah, that's son of a gun. Yeah.
What did you think of Belichick's involvement?
Great. I loved it. I loved seeing Belichick up there. Awkward as hell. But he had some funny jokes. Um, Strange seeing, them bring Kraft up. They were all doing shots. You could even sort of tell again. I don't know if you've seen that part or not yet. You could almost like feel the tension on the screen between Belichick and Kraft when they were up there together. You could sort of tell that they're not cool yet, but they were still just doing it for the camera. But
I
yeah,
don't think there should be tension between them, though, in my opinion. They
no idea really what went on behind the scenes there for
nothing
almost 30
nothing
years. Who
lasts
knows?
forever.
Sure. Yeah.
It's one of those
Yep.
things. So I don't know. But I think from the clips I've seen, pretty good. I
Yep.
really think that Nikki Glazer joke about what is the thing that Tom invested in?
Oh, Bitcoin, just
Bitcoin,
Bitcoin.
and
Yep,
she
yep, yep.
goes, even Gronk was like, "Me know that's
I
not real
mean,
money."
that was good.
That,
No, she definitely killed it. She was funny. Again, if you haven't actually sat down and watched it, you got time. I definitely suggest doing it. Um, I lost my train of thought. Also, just did you see, Brady shutting down whatever that guy's name is, Ross, whatever, or something Ross about
yeah, I mean,
the craft.
I think a lot of people in this, and he might have been some, Jeff Ross says he thought it was funny, but the fact was when the thing happened with Kraft, they posted the headline that he was involved in sex trafficking, and he was not.
Sure,
And
right.
I
Yeah.
think that's where maybe Tom was like, that's like my father figure, and I have
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
he has everything to thank for Robert Kraft. But I mean, I think those jokes are kind of funny, but at the same time, like I think Robert Kraft, when that happened, like he must have been really scared, because if he had nothing to do with any of that, that's pretty terrifying when your name's being put in a headline with sex trafficking.
Yeah. Oh, I hear you there. Yeah, definitely could have been some funny jokes though to add in. Who doesn't love a
Yeah,
good masseuse joke, you know?
I mean those Patriot fans hear that all the time. So,
Right. Mm-hmm.
um, our one of our all time, not poor Flair, because I don't want to say that the guy is an
Mm,
alcoholic and
mm.
really should address that. I know he's 75 and at this point doesn't care.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what did you think of the recent incident that he had?
Yeah. Like you said, the guy's old. The guy's on his way out. I mean, who knows? He could still be around for 20 more years. Who knows? There's never, you've always got time, right? But yeah, what a mess. What a mess.
Well, the
Like
thing
how?
was he buried that bar on the internet first.
Yeah.
He's like,
Oh,
I will
yeah.
never go there. And I hate when people are like, I bring so much business to this place. And
Yeah.
because I've had a friend say stuff like that. And I'm like, you don't post that. Like, if you were being
Hmm.
a jagoff in public and they ask you to stop, I don't
Right.
care how much money you're spending there. Like that, you don't have the
Yeah.
right to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I didn't see. I mean, I don't know if it's even out there. Like what brought everything up. What was before. I just saw the one camera footage from like behind the bar where him and the bartender are going at it. I don't know what he did ahead of time to bring him to that place, but I don't know. He's like Ric Flair is not like a household name. Again, you know who Ric Flair is. I know who Ric Flair is. A good amount of people will know who Ric Flair is, but it's not like a household name. It's not like you're walking in there like The Rock,
You're
and
not
thinking that you
Hulk
just get away.
Hogan,
Exactly. Yeah.
but I think most people know who Ric Flair
I don't
is.
know. I don't know. I feel like that's one of those. If you're not a wrestling fan,
He's had a lot of publicity on ESPN 30 for 30 and other things. Like I'm gonna say that, yeah, he's a celebrity for sure. You
I'll give him
know,
a celebrity status. Yeah, but if you're not a sports fan, or again, we did this a couple of weeks ago. I don't think my mom would know who Ric Flair is. I think my mom would know who John Cena is. Obviously, who Hulk Hogan is. I don't think my mom would know who Ric Flair is. I don't think my mom could pick Ric Flair out of a lineup.
well, he didn't have the prime of his career in WWF. So you could
Yeah,
always say that,
yeah,
he was more, but I think he's a pretty big name, but I'm sure they knew who he was there. And I'm sure he does spend a lot of money there.
mm,
But as soon as he made that post, it was like, he did something because he has a track
yeah,
record of this. And to be quite frank, that he said he went to rehab, he walked out of there and got a drink immediately. And it tells you like he has no interest
right,
in getting any better. And as
yeah,
but the thing is, it's like the more stuff he does, it's like, how do you want to be remembered?
mm, okay, yep,
Do you want to be remembered as that drunken old man? Because that's like going to be the last things people are going to remember about Ric Flair.
exactly, right,
You
exactly,
know, I
yeah,
mean, time will pass and whatever, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not shocked. Some people are sending me the video, and I go, I could probably tell you what's in that video. He's probably acting
Sure,
like an
right?
idiot.
Yeah,
The guy
yeah,
got right on the internet and blew up the restaurant, so I'll never go back
yeah.
there. And I
I
spent
didn't
all this
know
money
that
there.
part of it. Yeah, I didn't know he sort of
I
tried to
saw,
defend himself ahead of time.
and
Yeah,
I don't know Ric Flair personally, but I saw that post, and I went, that's somebody that did something stupid, and they're,
yep,
you
yep.
know,
Trying to get ahead of the
probably,
news. Yeah.
and they're probably still intoxicated, and they're
Mm.
posting to. Why post that? I don't know, because he brought the attention on himself.
Nature boy.
But
Classic.
there's been a lot of stuff with Ric Flair over the years, and
Yeah.
his son died of a drug overdose, and it's sad. It really
I
is.
feel like I completely forgot about that. David Flair, or
No,
was that the
Reed
one, or was that a
Flair.
different one?
Reed. David
Okay,
Flair's alive.
that was the one
Always
that
remember
was in
Flair.
WCW, right? David.
David wrestled. Reed was
Okay, okay.
trying. Reed probably was the more talented one.
Oh
He
yeah.
was trying, but substance abuse always came in the way. Like he got
Mm.
like WWE was interested, and he did some things, and Triple H, said in interviews, that called Rick and said, like, I can't keep this guy, and
Yeah.
that's how Charlotte Flair became a wrestler, because she wanted to live the dream her brother didn't fulfill. She started wrestling after
Oh.
he passed away.
Oh, I did not
Yeah.
know that. Oh, the
So
Flair lore goes deep.
I always remember Flair for telling Sean to sweet chin music him and go out like a legend. Flair forever. Yeah, no, I mean that was one of the great final matches, but it wasn't his final match because
He's still kicking around. I just saw a post the other day where he was saying like his last match. I don't know if it was in AEW or
2022.
TNA. He was
Yeah,
having heart attacks throughout it.
no, it was not in any promotion. It was just marketed.
Oh,
His son is son-in-law is Conrad Thomas, who is a famous podcaster. He does a podcast with Eric Bischoff. He does a podcast with Jeff Jarrett.
he's
He
got
does all
another
kinds of
daughter because isn't his
he,
son-in-law
he's married to
Andrade?
he married up because he's I'll just put it that way. I think Beth Flair is who he's married to. And Conrad has a little bit of pull, and I think he was the one that got the event off the ground.
I didn't know there was a Beth Flair. There's all sorts of Flair family members that I had
I
no
think
idea
he
about.
had he had like a first family and then like a second family.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
He's
Yeah.
and
Not Beth Phoenix, right? Those are two different
yeah,
people.
very not even the same. Not in the
Both
same
named
age.
Beth, though. Who's your favorite Beth all time? All time favorite Beth.
Beth?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Beth L. Johnson. There you go. Number 7, I think he wore.
Beth that was really mean on the Real World that I remember.
Oh.
I'd have to think about that. But anyways, yeah, that was his final WWE match. But he went on, wrestled in TNA. He still had bills to pay, and
Sure.
it was a Vince call
Legal
that ended.
bills, right?
Vince just said, "You're not wrestling on my television show anymore."
Yeah.
This
Good
is
for
like,
Vince, I guess, right?
well, I mean,
Mm.
Rick was really up there then, and that was
Yeah.
2008. And he
Mm.
wrestled in TNN. He went on the Hulkamania tour. He'll do anything to get back in the ring.
Guy just loves making money, apparently.
I don't think it's that. I mean, he'd said many times, "I want to die in the ring."
Oh, jeez.
He has said that, "I want to die
That
in
feels
the
like
ring."
a sickness.
So if
man,
he had a
right?
heart attack, he was probably like, "It's here. I did it."
Take me out, huh?
Yeah, but yeah,
Mm.
I don't know. A lot of people say like him continue wrestling. I don't think it ruins his legacy as a wrestler, but I just think that a lot of stuff will be remembered that wasn't pleasant,
Right.
and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I feel for the Nature Boy.
There's really
But
no other name is Beth, so I just looked up the name Beth real quick.
was there a Beth on The Office? I don't think so.
No.
Actually, Beth from 40 Virgin, when she's like, "I'm Beth," and he's like, "Andy."
There you go. Okay. Yep. She was what's her name there? Yep. That's good.
Elizabeth. Oh God, Elizabeth something. Thanks. Yeah.
Thanks. Yep.
Now Steve Buscemi is just trying to live his life.
Jeez.
Guy is an icon. He went, when 9/11 happened, he took on being a firefighter again after he's a millionaire.
Yeah.
Guy's never done anything. He gets punched in the face in New York City.
Apparently, and he was in the hospital. I'm hoping he's out at this point because it was earlier this week or last week, I think it was. But yeah, like, is it just this epidemic of just people just randomly punching people on the streets of New York and these big cities, and Steve Buscemi is just caught in the crossfire, so to speak? Like, what the hell are we doing?
I don't know.
Or was somebody out to get Steve Buscemi? You know?
I think it's
Like,
just there's just a lot of crazy. I mean, Rick Moranis got attacked not too long ago.
right, I forgot about the Rick Moranis situation.
I mean, Rick Moranis, another guy, he like quit acting because his wife died and wanted to raise his kid.
Yeah, just straight up good dudes from Hollywood getting cold cocked on the street. I can't have it. I will not stand for it anymore.
No, Steve Buscemi, man. Talk about like just an interesting career.
Yeah,
that he's had.
Yeah.
You know, I my first remembrance of him was in Billy Madison when he's putting the
With the
lipstick
lipstick,
on.
yeah,
and
yep,
he's People
yep.
to Kill, he crosses off Billy Madison.
Yes, I
But-
mean that has to be because that's our childhood, right? Like,
But then you really get to see as time went on. Like he ended up on The Sopranos, and you got to see his acting chops.
was he on
and
Sopranos? Yeah,
he was the main character on Boardwalk
Boardwalk
Empire.
Empire. Yeah, I never watched that. Was that any good? Was that up
I
your
watched the
alley
first
there?
season. From
Yeah.
what I remember, it was really good.
Yep. Yep.
He's in Fargo.
Fargo, one of my all-time favorite movies. I love him in Fargo.
The Big Lebowski.
Big Lebowski. He was a Con Air, another
Boardwalk,
classic. Yep.
Yeah,
He's
a jack of all trades. Like he can do the comedy,
Yeah.
he can do the serious, he can he can do it all, and he's getting sucker punched.
Mr. Deeds, the crazy eyes, and he wanted anchovies and jeez.
Well, he's one
Oreos
of
on a
those.
pizza, maybe, I think
He's
it was.
one of those guys
He's
in
an
Adam
addict,
Sandler's circle.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve, I have a role. It's kind of nonsensical. You want to do it? All right, Adam, not a problem.
Just don't punch me this time.
You know. So,
speaking of which, Happy Gilmore 2. Did you see that announcement?
Yeah, it's gonna. You know, I don't know. I'll watch it. You know,
right? I'll definitely watch that.
There is a video out there though of Shooter McGavin, Chris McDonald, I want to say
something like that. Yeah, I think so. Yep.
He's got a nephew that looks just like him, and I came across this video, and him and his girlfriend, who's a comedian, reenacted the scene where he goes, "I'll see you in the parking lot." And
I saw that. I didn't put two and two together.
So, well, dude, I saw the video and go, that's like a young Shooter. Like he sounds like him, he looks like him. I find it hard to believe it's his nephew, not his son.
Right? Yeah. Those genes run deep. Yeah, I did see that recently. I just thought it was some kid that looked like him. Wow.
So I did digging on that because I was like, he's too close to looking like him, not to be in his bloodline somehow.
Bloodline.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. Wow.
I'll watch it. My gut tells me it'll be a Netflix thing because I'm pretty sure Adam Sandler has a deal with them.
It's a huge deal with them.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to sell me on it. I'll watch.
I haven't seen any of those Adam Sandler Netflix movies. I haven't.
Poopy Halloween or whatever it was called. Everybody loved that.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I did watch. I don't know if it was a Netflix one or not, but it was a couple years ago. Him and I feel like it was Chris Rock were like they were fathers of like a couple getting married. I feel like it was like the week of or something like that, like leading up to like their wedding, and that was kind of funny. But yeah, I don't know. It's Adam Sandler. I mean, he's
still a legend. You know how hard it is to say funny. Like for decades, like a lot of people do it with stand up, but I don't think they all knock it out of the park with movies.
Yeah, no. I mean, what an iconic guy too Adam Sandler was. Like we just grew up with Sandler movies.
Yeah, my only gripe with Adam Sandler was, guys from New Hampshire, but he was a Yankees fan, and like growing up,
I never understood that. Yeah.
I always felt that weird because I was like, as a kid, I was like, no, that wouldn't like no, we don't
I
want
feel
a
like a
Yankees.
Knicks fan too. Didn't he rock a lot of Knicks stuff all the
I
time?
think
I
so,
could,
but he was
you
like a
know?
Bruins fan because he wore the Bruins jersey and the Happy Gilmore,
Yep. Hmm.
which is like you can't wear Boston in New
You're
York. That's
mixing
where
in
you have to
England.
pick. If
Yeah.
you can't, and I hate when I see someone wearing a Patriots jersey with a Yankees hat. You get a
Ugh.
clue. You can't
Yeah, wake up.
be doing that. You cannot mix New York and Boston teams. If you are a
Mm.
fan of a New York team, you cannot have Boston in your fan of. If you're a Boston fan, you can't have a New York team.
Mm.
That's where, you know, the line has to be drawn somewhere.
It was the Jets. Didn't he like he liked the Jets too and Big Daddy. He was all about the Jets.
Well,
What a
Mr.
lo- what a-
Sandler, you
Yeah.
missed out on
Mm.
so much good
You
stuff.
got some explaining to do, my friend.
You could have been part of it for 20 years. You chose to
Yeah, instead we got Mark Wahlberg. He could have been our Mark Wahlberg, you know. He could
I'll
have
take Mark Wahlberg over Sandler. I'll
just for like
I'll
just like
take that.
fanhood. Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, Mark Wahlberg, he's not the Marky Mark. That, you know, that guy is a legendary actor. I mean, Mark Wahlberg put in the work and became.
Yeah, no, I'll give you that. He definitely put in the work.
I'll take
Departed.
Donnie and Mark over Adam.
Yeah, I feel like Donnie turned into the more actor, you know, where Mark's just like he's the fun. I love me some Ted movies though. Those Ted movies crack me the F up, you know.
He was great. I think his big break was like Boogie Nights. He did Boogie Nights and just and people were like, okay, this kid can act. It's, you know, I thought it was weird back in the day when Eminem had a problem with him and they were on TRL.
Yeah. We're all just standing around like a funky bunch. Yeah.
bunch.
I feel like that clip comes up on my feed once a week. Yeah.
And Mark Wahlberg was trying to be taken seriously.
Yeah.
And like, you know, and it was like Eminem, like what I think Eminem too was kind of a jerk back then.
He was young. Yeah, he was young. He was on top of the world. He was pushing the boundaries. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we don't need Adam Sandler. We have Matt Damon. We have Ben Affleck. We have Bill Burr, who's become huge.
Bill Burr's funny. I like Bill Burr. Yeah.
How many? We have all like you know what, New York, you can have Adam Sandler. You really can.
Because you mentioned Bill Burr, and I know you haven't, you know, like dived into that new Star Wars stuff. Did you ever see Bill Burr on The Mandalorian? You probably haven't.
No, but I did see him on Breaking Bad.
Yes, he was on Breaking Bad. That's right. I forgot about him on Breaking Bad. I gotta do a Breaking Bad rewatch.
Oh, you could rewatch that over and like, dude,
a train episode. He was big into the train episode. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm now you got me excited here.
Yeah, let's go. Let's talk Breaking Bad for a minute.
I'm gonna do almost like a clap as I say this. When we were in college, we started watching that in 2008. Yep. And this is not nice. This is not HD television or anything like that.
Nope.
And we got hooked really quick. And I stayed with the show until like 2011.
Yeah.
And I started dating this succubus who like wouldn't. What is that for? Is that from South Park?
Succubus? I mean, the term is just from being a word. I don't know. They might have used on you. You might have got it from South Park, maybe.
Well, I was dating someone that was just totally ruining my life. Let's just put it that way. And I fell off.
Yeah.
I fell off. I never went back. And then Netflix, I finished that series in like 2022, maybe.
Yep.
And was like, oh my God, this is a masterpiece.
Absolute masterpiece. Yeah. No, I mean, me and you have gone head to head on the best show of all time. You say The Sopranos, I say Breaking Bad. I mean,
it's up there. Breaking Bad's in my top 3, probably.
It's such a good show.
What freaked me out when I finally got to it was like this all took place in 1 year.
Yeah, I guess so.
I thought that stuff had been going on for like a year, and then he's like, around this year is when yeah, top to bottom. That's also one of the best endings I think you could ever have.
It was clean. They cleaned it up. Yeah. Then we got that whatchamacallit, that like movie that was just Jesse there.
Yeah, and everybody had aged.
Yeah,
and
they were chunkier. What's the kid that I can't remember that kid's name? The one that's
he's a
married to
Matt.
Kirsten
He looks
Dunst.
like Matt Damon.
Yeah, he had clearly put on some weight.
He
But
put on
man, who
weight. He had
hasn't? Yeah.
aged, and I was like,
Jesse
this
Plemons,
is a throwback thing.
Yeah.
And I go, he looks completely different.
El Camino. That's what it
El
was.
Camino.
Yeah, I watched that one time. I haven't done a second watch on it, but I feel like it did wrap up Jesse's story because that was the only one that we didn't really know what happened.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
he busts
Yeah.
out after being, he was in. They were, there for a year,
Yeah.
which is like, it's like they should,
just cooking meth, just chained up. That poor son of a gun.
and,
He went through a freaking ringer on that show. That kid.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't want to, because I think there might be people watching that need to see it. But I have to say, like Walter White, if I'm going to be real with you, and I know I'm going to take comedy characters out of it. I'm going to take the George Costanza, the Michael Scotts out of this.
Okay.
Tony Soprano number 1, Walter White number 2. Two
all time TV characters.
TV characters of all time.
Drama characters, yeah. Because he was just I've said it a couple of times. He's your main character, He's supposed to be the hero of the show. He's protagonist.
Breaking Bad.
But he's just this evil character, but you root for him. But there's at one point where you're just like, he's no longer doing this for his family. He's just doing it for him, and it's just.
But there's such a psychological thing to it. Is like he felt like he was always held back, and then he's like this teacher not making any money, and then he gets cancer.
Yeah.
And it really tells you the evolution of like slipping into like almost madness,
right?
Where
badness.
He's breaking bad. I'm hitting the quotes here.
I get it. Yeah.
And it's the anti-hero that Tony Soprano really made famous. The difference is like Tony never was always just bad.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
But Tony also came off as like the father that you wish you had, like the evil.
Yeah.
Like
I still got to start my actual watch. I've only seen the first episode.
Like Tony, you're always rooting for him, and there's like some weird good in him, but he is just this evil person. But like you just can't. It's the way.
Who is more evil, Tony Soprano or Walter White?
I would say probably.
I haven't watched all of Sopranos, so I don't know.
I would say probably Tony.
Yeah.
But Tony really killed people only in the mob.
Yeah.
So
did he ever do anything to hurt his family? Because I mean, some of
cheat on his wife.
No.
I mean, the best acting scene I've ever seen in my life is him and Carmela at the end of season 4.
I just keep thinking about that last season where he, after spoiler alert, after somebody got killed out in the desert and Walt goes back home to try to get everybody out of the house and get out of there, and then him and Skyler start fighting and he steals the baby. Oh, like that. I'm getting chills, man. That was intense. Is what that was.
Okay, but how about if you want to talk about like an evil move?
Ooh.
Here's a guy you probably don't think I'm going to put on this.
Oh,
Rick Grimes.
Ugh, I'm not a Walking Dead guy. I stopped being a Walking Dead guy.
When he killed those saviors in their sleep, spoiler.
I don't know what you're talking
That's
about.
A pretty evil thing to do. I mean, because he didn't know them. He was doing it to survive, but he still killed innocent people while they were sleeping.
Well, I feel like that's a whole different world that you're living in, though. I mean, you got zombies at your back door.
But
you gotta kill some saviors,
to kill sleeping people, and you don't care who they are, whether like, and I don't remember if he killed any kids, but it's kind of bad, But I would say Tony overall probably more evil. He killed a lot more people than Walter White. Well, is that even true though? I don't know. Walter White's body count gets pretty high.
I mean, he killed all the neo-Nazis at the end. I mean, I'm sure plenty of people overdosed on the drugs that he concocted, if that's what we want to talk about. But yeah, I just thought of somebody else kind of evil. How about Jim Halpert? Just straight up just pranking people all day long for no reason, putting Andy's phone up in the ceiling, just making him lose his mind.
But
Like,
Andy was a jerk. But Andy was a jerk who needed to be exposed at the time.
I don't think Andy was just annoying. Like, that's the thing. Like,
Okay, but putting someone's phone in a ceiling and
that's
killing
funny.
people.
It's
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I
Where
guess.
is my freaking
Freaking
phone?
Maybe it's in the ceiling. Maybe you're in the ceiling.
Yeah. Oh my God, that was
Tweedledee.
prime
Yeah,
office time.
that was up. I'll say it. Season 3 was creme de la creme.
That's where we all got hooked. I think we all watched like season 1 and
Mhm.
2 on
Yep.
DVD. I might have bought the DVD.
You surely did.
at-
I'm sure.
at-
Yeah.
and I don't remember like
Walmart.
when or how. And maybe we were just
Because
like
we were
together.
waiting for season 3 because that was that season 2 cliffhanger with Jim and Pam, and
But
that was
but
our senior year of college. We were
had
waiting.
watched
We were
that
waiting on it.
because the only thing I'd seen before that was one time I was at home and I randomly went to the end of the episode and it was where Oscar came out of the closet and Michael is trying to kiss him at the end. This is the first time I'd seen anything with The Office.
Yeah.
And I was like, the brilliance of that comedy had me in stitches.
Yeah.
Absolutely stitches, because a lot of people are like, oh, you couldn't do The Office, but listen, it wasn't cool to the jokes that they made. Like, that was the point. Michael was an idiot. So you have this idiot character. Someone comes out of the closet and he's trying to prove a point by if he kisses them. That's so moronic that it's so
intentions,
funny.
though. Yeah.
Yeah, but he has the best intentions of doing it. And what I heard was like they improv'd quite a bit of that. And I mean, I saw that and was like, that's funny.
We lived in the prime of just great TV with Breaking Bad, with The Office, all that good stuff.
And the 90s weren't bad either. I mean, like Seinfeld, but we were just too young.
Yeah, we were right on the cusp there. But reruns, I mean, we lived on those reruns,
When you're in your 30s and you watch Seinfeld, you're like, I get it. I get it.
I have tuned in late night UPN. I don't think it's UPN anymore, but they usually got Seinfeld on at like 11:30. I'm like, yeah, I hear you, George.
He's just so fun. I mean, George. All of them together,
geniuses.
Wyndham's itching his ears.
Uh-oh.
He's got the medication in there too. I don't.
You got the drops. They got to do the ear drop there, do you?
They put stuff in. They said, come back in 2 weeks, and I'm like, I just don't want. We got to get his ears taken care of.
Yeah.
I know you wanted to talk about this. Let's. Good transition.
Yeah.
Patriots schedule here.
Yeah.
Let's go through this real quick here.
What a bum schedule.
Let's say.
It really is.
Do we want to predict a record?
Oh
here?
God, I don't even want to predict. I just think it's.
Do you just want to say win or loss?
I think it's just unpredictable. I mean, I feel like it's too early. I feel like we're in this. I mean, if you want to go through real quick, I'll crank some out for you.
All right. So it looks like they start with the Bengals on September 8th.
Loss. I mean, I could see that being a win. Ugh.
Week 10 against I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears are Nick's like the tides are turning.
He's a big Bears fan, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, he's from that area.
There you go.
All right.
I could see either way. The Bengals are sort of in flux right now, but
I'm gonna say loss.
Yeah.
Seahawks at home.
I could see that also being like either way. Maybe I could see them winning. I don't really even know who's the quarterback for the Seahawks anymore.
I did know, and I'm blanking.
Unpredictable.
He played Geno Smith.
Is he still, or I feel like he got benched at some point. That's what I'm saying. Like I feel like those first two games are they could win. They could lose though too.
At the Jets.
Thursday
Aaron Rodgers might be back.
Yeah, no, I love the Jets this year. I think it's a loss.
At the 49ers.
That's a loss, and they shouldn't even get on the plane. Just stop it.
4 wins. I think they managed 5. Yeah, I don't.
I
think there's-
yeah. That
Uh,
feels right. Honestly, it
I
feels right.
don't even know how to predict this. At Dolphins at home.
I think it's a loss.
It's okay. So we're 1, 2, 3, 4. We're 0-5. Uh, Texans at home.
I think it's a loss. I think the Texans are going to be a smoke show team this year.
Okay, so now we're 0-7 at the Jaguars.
I think that at the Jaguars, I could see it go either way. I think the Jaguars are
wanna- you
far
wanna give-
more talented.
You want to give
But-
them a win there?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I
0-8.
don't. I really
0-8.
don't.
Okay, Jets at home.
No,
I-
no. I don't think they beat the Jets. I don't think they beat the Jets or the Bills. I could see them splitting with Miami.
I don't see Aaron Rodgers getting through the full season. I just don't.
I think he's got some sort of witch doctor magic in him. I think.
So
I
what do
think
we have?
he-
1,
he's
2,
coming back.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 0-8. If we're gonna say they're gonna lose, do you think they
Maybe
get swept
3 and
by the
5.
Jets?
Maybe. I
You
do.
think they get swept?
I do. I'm gonna give them 2 wins out of that first.
I'm gonna
8
say they
games,
they
yeah.
beat the Jets at home. I'm gonna say that. Titans, where do they stand? They fired their coach.
They're
Let's say
garbage. I
that's
could
gonna-
let's give them a freaking win on the
gonna have-
Titans.
All right, so I got them 2 wins right now. You got 1. Then they
yeah,
go to
well,
Chicago. I know Nick is pretty confident, but I don't think Chicago is in that much better state. But am I going to give them 3 wins in a row? I don't think that's possible.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm going to
tough.
say that will. Yeah, I'll say that's a loss because if I think they're going to beat the Jets, I think they're going to beat the
I think
Titans.
Chicago's got a lot of
They're good.
talent on offense. I think
Young
we've got all the talent
quarterback.
on defense, but
Okay, now the Rams come home. At home. No.
Stafford light it up, baby.
Okay, then so I have 2 wins. You have 1. We're almost getting to the end here.
No, I'm gonna give them 3 because again, those first 2 games,
Where are you? Where are the 3?
Bengals in Seattle. Bengals in Seattle. I can see them winning, so I'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
All
I'm gonna
right.
say they start off 2-0, and then it's all downhill from there.
Jeez.
Yeah,
I think it's going to take time for them to like figure it's going to take like
I
8
just think
games to win.
those 2 teams. I don't even know, man. I have no idea.
Dolphins at home
No, I think the Dolphins-
at Miami. No.
Oh, maybe they split. I don't know. Yeah.
Bobby thinks 0-17 coming. I have them at 2 wins right now going into the Dolphins game, and I wish this had the weeks on it.
I feel like they're gonna have more ties than wins.
Holy God. Colts, no way, right? Are the Colts any good right now? I don't know.
Yes and no. If Anthony Richardson, their quarterback, comes back healthy and lights it up, I could see them being all right. But
I'm going to say that's a loss, and I think one of these games is overseas, and I don't remember which one it is. But then you get the Cardinals. I'll give them a win there in Arizona.
No, not for me.
Okay,
that's a loss. That's an L, baby.
Holy crap! We got to play the Bills like twice at the end of the year.
Well, we always play the Bills twice, but
no, but at the end of the year,
pile it on towards the end. Yeah,
I had
them,
every Bobby. Other week. I had them beating the Jags. Scott did not.
I don't know about the Jags.
Buffalo, December 22nd. No.
I don't know about Buffalo this year. Who knows how good Buffalo is going to be? I mean, Diggs is gone.
But where? Like, I don't know. Like, okay,
that's
then
what
you
I'm saying.
get
like the whole thing is just.
So then, okay, they play the Jags overseas. Okay, they're gonna beat.
Yeah, Jags is one of those teams that just loves playing in foreign lands.
Tony, you know how the Khan family is.
Yeah.
Crumb bums. Chargers at home. I'm gonna say W.
Give them a W. F the Chargers.
All right, so I think I'm up to 4 wins. You're up to 3.
Yeah.
Then the Bills come in on a January 5th game. Maybe the Bills sit their starters, and Patriots get their 5th win.
I don't even know how good the Bills are going to be this year.
They're going to be better than the Patriots.
They're going to be better than the Patriots, yeah, but I don't know if they're making. I don't know if they're making the playoffs. I think the Jets are going to win the division. I think the Dolphins are going to be good.
So I'm
giving them a loss.
I'm going 5-12. So you're going.
I got them at like 3 wins or 4 wins.
3.
We're right at that.
I mean,
4.5 over under.
I'm gonna say 5 wins. And
I'll give them 4.
if something shocking happens,
Gross. So
like I just don't. I mean, last year was just like that's as low. That's actually not as low as you can go. What did they win?
No.
4 games?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, 4 or 5.
I remember like Christmas Eve being like,
Repeat.
why are we beating the Broncos? Why are we
Yeah.
doing this right now? Why?
Yeah, I just think it's so telling. Oh, excuse me. That each one of those games, I mean, it's just a 1 o'clock game. There's not even like a 4:25 thrown in. There's no prime time except for one Thursday night at with the Jets. I hate those Thursday night games. It's just gonna
Yeah.
be garbage.
To be honest, I know we stink, but this is like a dream come true for me because I love just 1 o'clock games.
You like the
Get
ones,
it in.
huh?
Love it.
Mm,
Love it.
mm.
Love
Well,
it.
there you
Get
go.
it in. Get in. Get
Sure.
out. I don't have to stay up. I don't,
There you go. Okay.
because my whole routine is like I watch whenever the Patriots are on.
Okay.
And yes, they do play the Cards at 4:25.
That's because they're on the West Coast, so they
yeah.
have to. But yep.
But honestly, the only game I want to watch every week is the Patriots, and I might throw in another game. My buddy Jesse's a big Bills fan, so sometimes I'll watch games with him.
Okay.
And maybe I'll watch a 4 o'clock game, but not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like not a ton.
Nah.
And then I will watch Sunday Night Football if I'm home.
Yeah.
I will.
I'm a
watch
big fantasy guy, so I'm always got Sunday night on, Monday night on, and those Thursday night games, even if they're garbage, and I know they're going to be garbage. If I've got somebody going, then I'm watching.
I will watch Monday night too. So don't get me wrong, because
Yeah.
I'll watch like wrestling that. But like I like
Dun,
the
dun,
option
dun,
that
dun.
if I want to go to bed, I can. But if the Patriots are on, like
Sure.
I'm not going to bed.
I'll
Tune in
go
for
to
the Bears
bed.
this
I'll
year.
go to bed even if the Pats are playing this year.
Tune
F
in
'em.
for the Bears this year. Yeah, I might. We're talking about maybe even going to Chicago. Bobby's in the comments. He keeps saying that. Our buddy Derek's a huge fan of the Bears.
Windy City.
Go
see that.
Okay, so I'm gonna say they're gonna win 5. You're gonna say they're gonna win
I'm
9.
gonna give them 4. I'm gonna give them 4. I'll give them 4. I'll give them 4.
But
hopes and dreams.
Will you?
4.
Do you think? Is there any chance, like, you could be pleasantly surprised?
Sure, of course. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it could. See, none of those teams, like every team that we're playing, like we're not playing the Chiefs. Like okay, the Niners are solid, but I mean, nobody else is really a slam dunk home run undefeated type of potential team. So I mean, defense can turn it on every game and play tight games, and maybe we get some good luck. We'll see.
The comments are popping off. Wolfpack doesn't pay attention.
There he is. Oh, I most certainly do, my friend.
Nick Hogan. Nick Hogan.
Nick Hogan, yeah.
Hulk Hogan's son is commenting on Ringing Free
Nick
Thought.
Balea Hogan himself, yeah.
This is wild.
My dude that's in the big league there, yeah.
The Bears made the most overrated team in the NFL. Derek Brown has them going on. Derek, if he really, he's, I feel, a lot of Chicago Bear fans that are our age. Undefeated is just ignorant. 10-7 is fair. Okay. I just have to say, like, it's my buddy Frank is this way. Frankie. And like, we don't have a rivalry with the Bears. There's no rivalry with the Bears. They beat us in Super Bowl 85, whatever that Super Bowl 30.
1985, the year.
1985. What was the Super Bowl? I'm blanking.
No idea. 4, 5, 9. I have no idea.
But like people in this area, right? Like, we don't have a rivalry with the Bears. They just despise the Patriots, and I'm like, we're not rivals.
One of my all-time favorite Brady plays was him juking out Urlacher.
Yeah, that was
a
fun.
decade or so ago, or a decade plus ago. That was good. But...
I mean, like, there's teams I don't care for, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, I make fun of the Dallas Cowboys, but I honestly, I don't care. Like, the Cowboys won, I'd be like, good for them. That's great. But, like, the hatred that people have in this area for the hometown team, that because they're like, I'm a fan of And I respect people if they're like, I'm from Chicago or I'm from Dallas or wherever, and they're like, that's why I'm a fan. But these like weirdos that are like, yeah, I'm a,
Harrison Butker fan over
I'm
here.
there,
What are you doing?
I'm a big, I don't know, I'm trying to think.
Seattle Supersonics.
I love the Seahawks. Why? Have you been to Seattle? No.
Yeah.
I'm a big
Well,
Titans fan. Have you
that's
been
how I
there?
feel about people that are like super into college teams. Like I
Okay,
love Notre Dame
back
and I
up.
loved
I will say
Miami back in the
I
day when I
love
was a
Notre
kid, but
Dame.
like I got
Okay, listen. I have Irish
I
heritage,
knew it was
okay?
gonna hit the
And
yeah,
there is
okay.
a big Irish population in this area, which is why
Sure.
Notre Dame is one
Yeah,
of those
right.
favorite teams.
Yeah. I
Okay. But
gotcha.
if you're one of those like, I like the Dolphins colors when I was 3,
Yeah,
and
okay, I gotcha.
like
I'm a
enough.
big Mighty Ducks fan because of my starter jacket that I had in 1993. I mean, that was killer.
Yeah, I just think there has to be some kind of
Yeah,
something. I
I
like
hear you.
their colors,
I
and
hear you.
it's like,
I latch on to players though sometimes. Like I was a big Detroit Lions fan
oh,
for.
you were
I
obsessed
was
with
a
Ray
big
Lewis.
Stafford fan. I was a big Ray Lewis fan. Yeah, I was never like
Yeah.
a Ravens fan though, but like I was a big Lions fan because
You were like,
Stafford.
hey, he's innocent, and I love him.
I testified on behalf
Yeah,
of Ray Lewis. I was there. Yeah,
you
no,
know,
I can't say that's the
and
case.
I'm not trying to dog on people or anything like that, but I just think like when you have just hatred for like the hometown team because of whatever reason, it's
Because of the
just
color that
weird.
you like, yeah. Well, I mean, what about people that are fans of teams because their dad's a fan or something like that, you know?
No, some
You're
kind of ties,
raised on
some
something
kind
like
of
that.
ties.
Sure,
Yeah,
yeah,
like
right.
some kind of ties to it. But I'm not going to call out my father on this because I could. He had some
Oh,
questionable fanhood things happen.
oh,
I have called him out.
ooh,
We're not going to do this live, but yeah,
oh.
but
I need a teaser. I need something though. Like,
he may have been rooting for the Dolphins at one point. He'd be heated.
gross,
He might watch this back and be like, you know,
gross.
my thing is like, I didn't really
Ronnie
watch.
Brown fan.
I started really watching football when I was like 11, and the
Yeah.
Patriots were in the Super Bowl with Bledsoe.
Hmm.
And even when I watched then, I was still very confused to what I was watching because they didn't play football, right? I played baseball, so I could watch baseball every night because I
Right.
played the sport.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah, I don't know because like I had a Dolphins jacket when I was a kid, and people bring that up. I'm like, you think I saw a game?
You were a Dolphins fan because of Ace Ventura, I bet, right? Like
No,
that was the beginning of it.
my dad had that coat, so I had that coat.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So but
Hmm.
I never watched the Dolphins play a football game when I was a kid.
Now I'm just thinking about Ace Ventura. I'm thinking about Jim Carrey just running up on Dolphins players, trying to see how many diamonds they had in their rings.
And Wyndham is like chasing his tail right now. He's never seen him do
Mm,
this before. I don't know.
he's
He's bored.
acting like a classic dog. Like, get him a headset. You got to get him on here.
We really do.
Mm.
I want to get into this then.
Oof.
Just now, I know you haven't had. Your dog unfortunately passed away.
Yeah, a
But
couple
did
years
you
ago.
get
Yeah.
stressed with the vet a lot? Like,
I mean, towards the end of it,
yeah.
and I've never had an Aaron Hernandez jersey.
I do have one in
I
this
feel like
apartment.
did does. Yeah,
I definitely
exactly. You
have an
got a
Aaron
black
Hernandez
market.
jersey.
Yeah. I mean, again, our dog was Megan's, so I mean, she was around, before I was around. I dealt with a lot of the vet stuff towards the end of it. Very stressful times at that point, but can't really say I did a lot of the day to day, not day to day so to speak, but the routine sort of vet checkups with her.
I feel bad. So I've been, I was going to talk about this too. We're getting short on time. I've been stressed out a lot lately. I just have been.
Mm-hmm,
We're
mm-hmm,
all
mm-hmm,
human. We get stressed, and I've been
mm-hmm.
super like stress-ly. I just have a lot of places to be, a lot of things to do, you know. And so the vet calls me yesterday, and I see it's them. And so Wyndham had the ear infection. We went there last week, right?
Yeah.
Now there was some other stuff they did, and the vet called me and goes, I answer the phone. She goes, "Hi, Dan," like very soft.
Mhm.
And I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "Is this a good time?" I go, "Why? What do you mean? Is this a good time? Yeah. What's wrong? Is something wrong with my dog?"
Well,
And I lost it on her. And I was like, "What are you talking?" And she goes, "I'm just checking in." I go,
well, I mean, you can't. I mean, why you
Why?
gonna snap? Why you gonna snap at her like that?
I think it's part of the stress, though. But I was
Yeah, I think you gotta pump the brakes a little bit.
well.
Yeah.
Is this a good time? I answered the phone.
I feel like that's just a general thing that people like to ask if they're gonna have like a minute or two of a conversation, you know. But I
No,
agree. I mean,
no, I
obviously you
think
answered the phone, you know.
I think you're
Uh,
right. I think
yeah.
that had to do more. It obviously had to do with me more than them.
Mm,
It didn't have anything to do with them. I think it's just stressed out.
Yeah, I hear you, man. You gotta relieve it. You gotta. Well, I feel like you're active though. I mean, you got your activities.
I do a lot of I actually,
Mm,
I didn't
maybe
buy
too many
into this
activities. Yeah.
until I got sober. Like if someone was like, "You got to try
Oh, I thought
meditating,"
you were about to like show off like a tattoo or something. Like, what are you going
I
to
mean,
the?
but
Yeah.
like for me, like I actually will put on like meditation stuff, and it really
Okay.
does.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah.
does help quite a
Yeah.
bit.
Huh.
Um,
Well, there you go.
so yeah, I gotta call when I go in there and be like, because I did tell her after, I was like, I'm really nervous about my dog, and you really gotta, preference this, and
Yeah, you gotta
you know,
take a breather there, big fella.
yeah, it can be tough. But let's
Yeah.
get into our favorite part of the show here. We're gonna go with best week ever and
Mm-hmm.
crumb bum of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Scott, who is having the best week
Let's get
ever?
the vet ticker off the bottom
Yeah,
there.
let's get it out of there.
So for me, I was coming up dry, thinking of ideas. I couldn't think of any individuals. I was like, oh, maybe that chick that flashed the portal in New York, because that was a whole thing. I don't know if you heard about that. But just in my life, something that is having the best week ever is my lawn, the grass outside, baby. Because I laid down some fertilizer a couple of weeks ago. Laid down some new seed last week. Just been watering it, really taking care of it. We've had some decent rain coming in. Been getting out there in the gardens, planting stuff, picking some weeds. I can just tell by the look of it that my lawn, the grass outside, is just having a really good week. It's having the best week ever.
All right, I like that.
I gotta mow it though; it's getting shaggy again.
If you
Doesn't stop
whenever I get the
growing.
invite, I'm gonna check this lawn out.
Yeah, we gotta have some people over. Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
my best week ever. There wasn't like a ton that I could. Nothing was really coming to mind.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Even in this moment, nothing is coming to mind. But I will say that the GOAT, the greatest of all time in R&B, turned 58 yesterday. One, Miss Janet Jackson, If
Oh
You're
my God.
Nasty.
Get a room, you two. Jeez,
Giving it to
Louise.
Janet here. Best week ever.
I thought you were going to say Tom Brady. I mean, you were going down that GOAT road,
No. I see. The thing is, like, I've always been a fan. Like, I saw her in concert last year, and I'd always wanted to do that. And it takes me back because when I was a kid, it was like Michael and Janet. Those were my favorite two.
Yep.
And it's hard you can't really celebrate them.
No.
But Janet, to me, I think she's one of the best. And I'm like mildly in love with her since I was like a child.
Yeah.
So. Can you believe she's 58 though?
Yeah, I could believe that.
Because I guess we're old too.
It's 2024, man. Yeah, you're almost 40.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised I'm surprised that she's not older. Holy hell.
Well, when the Super Bowl
Yeah.
thing happened, she was 38.
Yeah, that checks out, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, it was 20 years ago.
Yeah. Well,
So,
Janet Jackson and the grass outside. There we go.
yeah, and I love Janet too, but there's nothing was coming up into
Right?
my
Slow
mind.
news cycles the last couple of
But not
weeks.
for crumb bums.
You don't have the courage. You're a real crumb bum. Put that on camera. You're a creep.
And Scott.
We discussed it earlier. I think the culprit is still out there at large, but it is whoever that son of a gun is that punched Steve Buscemi. Is that the guy right there? I had no
That's
idea.
what Google Images brought up. So if that is not the guy, then I apologize. But
Interesting.
that's what was coming up.
Huh. He looks
So
like the Blue Ranger there. Like that's something the Blue Ranger would wear. It's a very blue shirt. Huh. Why? Why?
well, he
Like
might. Who knows? There might be some.
maybe he thought Steve Buscemi was like a ghoul or something, and like some sort of he frightened him or something like that. I guess, but oh, that poor Steve Buscemi. He just can't catch a break.
Very, very crumb bumish to attack Steve Buscemi, and
Absolutely.
I think we're getting really into
You don't have the courage. You're a real crumb bum. Put that on camera. You're a creep.
And this guy, to me, now, and we've already talked about him too.
Oh,
I think he might get on that Mount Rushmore.
Mount Crummore. Oh.
Yeah, just because I don't think that Harrison Butker.
Oh, you know what? I support you.
At the end of the day, like I guess you said people clapped. If that was the audience for it, that's to be determined. Because I just think hijacking someone's commencement is kind of crumb bum. That's very crumb bum.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not even going to fault him for having his beliefs because I think it's fair to believe whatever you want as long as you're not hurting people. Like if that's an agreement that him and his wife have is like, you're going to be the mother at home and I'm going to make this that's fine. I don't like that pushing it on to others.
Yeah.
Because I would say like the majority of people don't live like that. And one, male, female, humans can go and do whatever they want. And you're also dismissing that not everybody's a millionaire and most married couples both have to have a job. And your mother is a very successful. Your parents were making stupid
PhD.
money.
Yeah.
Like
What a entitled little prissy pants Harrison Butker is.
Yeah.
I support that. Adding him to Mount Crummore. We finally might have our second.
Tony Khan would even say something so stupid. Tony Khan says a lot of dumb things.
Yep.
That's not one of the things he would say.
I like it. I'll support you there.
So,
But
yeah, no, good show tonight, Scott. Anything else? What do you?
Oh, jeez. Are we into? It's only 11. I was gonna say, are we into tomorrow yet? It's so late. Yeah, good stuff today. We got a big weekend. I think Megan's gonna make her first appearance at a co-ed for you guys on Sunday. And we had Mother's Day, and then she had some other stuff the other weekend. So I might see you Sunday there, my friend.
All right, I'll be there.
Bet you will.
Yeah. Well, what was I gonna say? Yeah, everybody have a great weekend out there. If you have been watching and commenting on my personal page, I didn't see it. And you know what I'm probably gonna have to do? I'm gonna end this stream. I'm gonna go onto my personal page, and I'm gonna see all these comments. Maybe not. Maybe no one commented tonight.
It's gonna break his heart.
If they did, I will have to comment. You have to do it on the
FYI
page.
BTW.
YouTube. Will Dan strike out swinging? I haven't struck out. I struck out swinging the last time.
Me.
I did. I've done it like twice or in my life that I can recall. One was at the Christmas tournament that MSS had, and I hadn't done that in years. And then we went on to win the tournament. So
It's good luck.
I don't know why he's saying that. He's been saying that to Derek a lot lately too.
Huh. Just likes to rub it in there, huh?
Stir.
The pot
Dude.
been stirred.
Oh my god, my elbow! Like that, just getting old thing too, man.
Oh, just throw your elbow out, start at the pot there?
No, it's been bothering me.
Tendinitis?
Everything I do with it hurt. Yeah, it might be tendinitis, but I'm telling you, like, if this is what almost 40 is, which it's like still doable, I'm not sure what 50 is gonna. God willing, I make it there. You know what I mean? Like,
Hey, if Janet can do it, then you can.
that's my motivation. There it is.
Baby.
All right. For Scott McVicker, I'm Dan Bollier. This has been episode 12 of Ringing Free Thoughts. We will see you in 2 weeks.